Well, I hope everybody's having a good weekend this weekend. We're doing pretty good here, still on the sugar medicine, still got this little rash that's still not hurting or itching or anything, so not sure where it's coming from, but we're still taking our sugar medicine. The great, cell phone outage that happened a couple of days ago, did you see how many people actually panicked and how many people thought this is it, right? The EMP's coming, we're fixing to get knocked off the earth, it's going to go back to the 1800s. There's going to be a lot of people that when something like this does happen and they can't use their cell phone or anything like that, they're going to just go crazy, right? How many people nowadays do you see that are constantly glued to these things, right? They're always looking at them, they're always doing something on them. And like I said in another video, the bad thing about all this is that so much of our stuff now is online, and without internet you can't access it. If your money's not physically in your hand, I don't care if you've got $2 million sitting down there in that bank, right? Something happens, you go down there to get money out, they don't know how much you got because it's all computerized. All computerized, you can't get your money out. That's why it's important to always keep cash on you. I'm sure some of y'all may have had incidents like I've had in my life where you stop somewhere maybe to get fuel and they say, I pay cash anyways, but they say, our machine's down, you need to pay cash. What do you do in a situation where the internet's down and you're on your way home and you run out of gas, but you're at that gas station but your cards are not working, right? That's why it's important to keep cash on hands at all times, especially when it comes to paying bills and stuff. I've told you that our local area, if you pay cash, you're going to pay more usually, but you still got to pay those bills, right? You think they'll forgive you if the internet's down for a month? Probably not. Right? They're not just going to write that off. You're still going to have to pay those bills. Just like when full-blown SHTF happens, a lot of people think that's the end of house payments, that's the end of car payments. Go back to the Depression and read up. Y'all know I'm big on history. Read on your history. Bills were still due then. Still due. And that's the way it's going to be when SHTF happens. Somebody, if you're renting from somebody, they're still going to want their rent money, right? I mean, it can get hairy in situations like that, How many people do you personally know that during the pandemic that was drawing unemployment, getting the good money, right? And just quit paying their bills. They quit paying the rent because of the rent forgiveness, right? Y'all remember that? Well, now those people are getting kicked out and stuff. They're always going to want their money. That's something me and my son was talking about today. I went and bought some more, or I didn't buy it, the sawmiller gave it to me, some more. I got black walnut this time to make some cutting boards out of. And as we was going over to get it, we were talking about farming. He's trying to do his property as a farm. He says, I got to buy X amount more property and then I can write it off as a farm. He said, that'll save me on my property tax. I said, well, guess what? Then they're just going to tax you on something else to bring it right back to where it was, because they're always want their money. They're not going to go without their money. A great series to watch. I don't know where it's on anymore, but it used to be called Jericho. It was a TV show that come on regular TV, then it was on Netflix, and I don't know where it's at now. That kind of shows you how it would be after a nuclear attack here on the United States, how the government will start back up and actually want money, right? They still want that money. But the great cell phone outage, like I said, it didn't affect us much. Our internet on our phone didn't work, but you could still call and text people, But what's going to happen when that happens? Was that a test run? That's something you got to ask. Was it a test from the American government saying, let's see how bad people panic? Or was it Russia, China, Middle East, aliens? Did somebody get in there and do it, right? Was it not a dry run, but was it a test run, right? Who remembers the gas pipeline that got shut down here in America? I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. You got to understand the reason they shut that gas pipeline down. It wasn't because they couldn't control the flow of gas. They could still control it, but you know what it affected? Billing. They didn't know how much to charge people, so they shut the whole gas line down. Yeah, that's what happened with that one. But as far as just the regular old, what's going to happen when SHTF happens, you're going to have people that just plain out are going to freak out and can't make it. They can't do it, right? How hard is it going to be for somebody who is constantly on their phones now to go back to the times like some of y'all are my age, back to where you might not even had a home phone in your house. I grew up without a home phone in my house. Yeah. And I went to school in the 80s and 90s. We would have a home phone every now and then it was gone. It wasn't that big of a deal back then. But now all your stuff's online. That's how it is. Everything is online, and without access to it, you can't do nothing. You know, like I said, you spend cash. Who's to say they can't even? Nowadays, the people working at stores probably can't even write a paper receipt anymore because they don't know how to do it, right? Because why? They use their phone for the calculator. They use their phone to figure, you know, tax or whatever. So it was kind of, I think it was a test run. I really do. I think it was a test run. Who did it? I don't know. Could it have been our government? A lot of people are saying it was a solar flare that let loose. That solar flare was on the other side of Earth, and why did it only affect certain, you know, services like AT&T? Did it pick theirs and leave Verizon alone? See, I told you the solar flares, I'm not real big in on them because they happen all the time. If you've ever seen the Northern Lights, you're seeing a solar flare. That's what you're seeing. But some people, they panic about it. They think that's what it's going to do, that's going to destroy our grid because it happened once back in the, 1890s, I think. It knocked out the telegraph lines, you know. Imagine what it could do now. And so much stuff now is in outer space. It's all satellite driven, right? Everything's satellite driven in outer space. So I don't know. When it comes to solar flares, I don't sit around and panic about it. I really don't, because if you ever seen the Northern Lights, that's the solar flares. But if you think that's what's going to get us, you know, that's you. Like I've told you, whatever gets you to prepping, that's fine with me. If you think it's nuclear war going to start, solar flares, aliens, bank runs, you know, bank collapses, government collapse, whatever it takes to get you prepared, prepping, so when something does happen, you can sit back and like, all right, let's watch and see what happens, so we don't have to panic here, right? That's what you do. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Didn't make a video yesterday, got busy. I put a short up, you know, if you want to watch it, go watch it. We gave my daughter-in-law some of our hens, and we introduced them to her pre-existing flocks. So a little fight broke out there, you know, with the ducks. That was strange how they started fighting, but that's what happened with them. Let me know your thoughts on this video. It's Saturday night. I don't get a lot of views on Saturday nights, but let me know your thoughts on this video. What do you think? Do you think it was a test run? Was it our own government? Was it some other government that did it? Let me know what you think. Keep your head on the swivel, be aware of your surroundings at all times, protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person that can do it. Stay safe, keep prepping, keep cash on hand as much as possible. I know you can't keep thousands of dollars on hand, but keep cash so at least you might be able to get some gas to get home. But try not to be in a position where you got to stop and get gas. If you can, if you're at a half a tank, fill your tank up every time it hits a half a tank. Stay safe, keep prepping. Comment on this video, hit the thumbs up, hit the share, hit the like. You know, stay safe, keep prepping.